Starting now.
Okay, we're gonna zip through a stamp demo. As far as the steel goes, you could use any piece of steel you get from the hardware store that says high carbon tool steel, like a punch or something. And it's gotta be high carbon or it won't temper, harden, or anneal. So that's important. Annealed steel, when you usually buy a punch initially, your file, if it's a hardened piece of steel, your file will just skate right off of it and won't cut it. These are made out of kind of the same steel, high carbon tool steel. This is hard, but this is also hard, so they don't do anything. This is a piece of the same kind of steel that's been annealed, and I could file notches in it. I could take my Fordham unit with burrs. So I use a lot of burrs that have a Krauss burr, some little mini ball burrs that I use for carving. But you get in there and there's big holes in it. But if this was hardened, it wouldn't do anything. It would just skate right off of it. So if you get a punch that's already made, you can anneal it by having some vermiculite and getting it real hot. You also want to put on welding goggles because it gets so hot, it puts off infrared rays and it hurts your eyes. So you don't want to look at this stuff with it red hot. Okay. Now when I anneal, I like to get a large portion of the punch really hot. When you harden for tempering, you just want to get the tip. But right now, I want this thing to cool off really slow because that's how it gets annealed. It cools off slow. So y'all saw how the file just skated off this thing, right?
Yes.
So I'm getting it hot kind of up here, then I'm going to get the tip really
See a
hot.
little bit of glow on
Oh, it's going to go, this is going to glow. I want this really hot.
Now, do you have to flip it over and do the other side?
No, it's conducting through, the heat's conducting through the whole thing. Okay. I'm burying it in the vermiculite. And that's going to be cooling off while I do my other stuff. Okay. Don't need these anymore.
And if you put it in water, it would...
When you quench, it freezes. It freezes. No. It hardens it. Now this is oil quenched steel. Steel comes in oil quenched or water quenched. If you don't know what it is, if these techniques aren't working when you do it with oil, I'd try it with water and see if it works because I tend to use all oil quenched steel. My punch I just made, my Jerry Garcia hand, it is Japanese steel that my friend picked up for me in Tokyo. It's really nice. And what we're going to do with this is we're going to harden it. So that cools off slow for being annealed. But when you want to harden something, you got to quench it. And this is oil quenched steel. Actually, I need my goggles again because I'm oil quenching some steel. I forgot. And this is just vegetable oil. I mean, you could use motor oil, but it smells worse. And oil, car oil just really smells really bad.
Garlic flavored olive oil.
Okay.
You're annealing some spaghetti somewhere.
Yeah. Now, my Jerry hand, I spent a lot of time on this and I carved it under the microscope. So it's like, really super detailed.
Have you stamped it yet, or is it getting hardened now? Is that what we're
I'm hardening it. I didn't want to go stamping it and messing up my design. Usually, I did test in some wax to see what it looked like. It looked pretty cool. Okay, so now you only have to do the end of this.
Now, is that mainly because you're only going to use it as
Well,
stamp
all you
on it.
need to be really hard is the very end, because you want it to hold up its design over the years of thousands of stampings. So the end has to be hard, but the rest of it you don't want super hard because you don't want it to be brittle. You don't want it to snap. Okay.
You get this thick or hot?
I'm gonna go a little hotter. Okay.
What are you looking for? Just a
I
color?
just want it to glow really good. I want to know it reached temperature, and it puts off a certain amount of light.
Yeah.
And
Pulling off.
yeah, and the metal starts looking weird too. That looks good to me. Okay. Okay, so what I'm gonna have to do now is after this cools off, I'm gonna clean up the sides so I see clean metal surface, nice shiny silver surface. Because when I temper it, you want to watch this little rainbow crawl up it. And when the golden straw color reaches the end, you immediately quench it, and it freezes the temper at that moment. And the golden straw is good for punches because it's like the hardest temper. It's hard enough to hold an edge, but it reduces the brittleness of it so that when you hit it with a hammer, it doesn't shatter. Okay, so we're gonna take a break. I'll call y'all back here in a minute. Okay. All right. This is the piece of steel that is pulled out of the annealing vermiculite, and you can see the file will cut it now. Let me get this thing in the picture. I just need to get it in the picture. Let's see. Okay. There we go. And this file is going to cut it easily. You can see that it totally took the metal away. Before the file, it was laughing at the file. Now I can cut it with saw blades, burrs, and files, and make it any way I want.
There we go.
All right. I got my jerry hand. This is it's pretty detailed. There's Jerry's hand, and I cleaned the metal so it's shiny all the way down so I can see the rainbow appear. And I want to take my time doing this. You don't want to go really fast, but I'm going to heat it up in the middle, and it's going to start making a colored rainbow. I don't want to get it red hot in the middle. I want to do this slow. I mean, you can see the yellow starting to appear. Can y'all see that? You have to come over here to see it. It's starting to make some yellow appear. And then you'll see some purple. And then you'll see some blue. And you want that rainbow to crawl up slowly to the end of the tip. And when the yellow hits, you want to freeze it at the yellow. There's no hurry. It's all about temperature, not about time.
This is called tempering?
Yes. We hardened it first to make it rock hard. And this is so that it can absorb some shock without, it makes it less brittle. It'll hold an edge, but it'll absorb the shock without cracking. And we should end up with a golden jerry hand at the very end. See that rainbow?
Yeah. It's kind of creeping up.
Yep. You don't want to do too quick because you want to be able to time it. Yeah, that gold color is getting up there. The purple's approaching. You actually back off on the torch at the end. So we should have a golden jerry hand.
It smells like a French fry.
Well, it's better than smelling like a burnt car engine. That's why I use the vegetable oil.
Could we use organic olive oil?
You could. Yes. The robust flavor, you know. Yes, lots of flavor.
From Italy.
Yes. Okay, so we should have a golden jerry hand. Look at that.
Said I like saffron.
Look at it. Golden jerry hand. And that's where you want it. Okay. Yeah, well, I'll have to get my hand in here. I don't want to burn my hand. It's still not.
If you tap the screen on the jerry hand, it'll probably focus.
There we go.
So it's still really hot.
It's still kind of hot. I don't want to touch it yet. Yeah, a good golden jerry hand. And that should last for thousands and thousands of jerry stamps. I'll do
Are
patterns
we
on
gonna
my
see
nails.
Gyrations.
Yes, okay.
We're
End
gonna
of
see the
demo.
maiden voyage.
Did you ever get
Huh?
The maiden stamp.
We're gonna do